Spell Ivor.
I-V-O-R.
Okay, Ivor Archie, okay. Go ahead.
So what happened was, apparently he have a close friend named Dylan Johnson. Right, and
all these names could be found in the article, right?
Well, right now I have, it was on Ian Allen first, and then the papers come out with it. Right now I have the Newsday here with me. The Newsday, I have the article with it right now. Newsday.
Right, whatever info you're going to read, make sure it's in the article, because I really would like to post the article myself and read it myself. So I want to make sure, like, whatever you're going to bring out now, just make sure it's in there.
Right. I don't know if I could show it on the phone.
If you turn your phone to it or whatever, you might be able to show the headline. But we should be able to get it on the what's that, the Express?
Yeah, Express. Speak up.
Okay.
I've actually, right?
Right.
November the 16th, 2017. Right. The Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago is calling on Chief Justice Ivor Archie to publicly address allegations surrounding discussions he had with a convict on changing the judge's security. Right? So that is one allegation. Then across here it says Ivor Archie, 57, he's 57 years old.
Right.
And Dylan Johnson, his close friend, who is 36 years old. Each other shortly after the Chief Justice addressed fellow judges at a meeting suggested changes.
So say that again. You went in and out there for a second. Just say that one more time. That last line you read.
The Chief Justice addressed fellow judges at a meeting. Security change, right? It says the Chief Justice did not name the company at the meeting, but the Express has learned it is Fortress Security Services Limited.
Right.
Now, they said Johnson, who is 36, his close friend, was convicted in 2008 after pleading guilty to 2 counts of forged documents bearing the names of 2 senior magistrates, right? The documents were to HDC, which is the Housing Development Corporation,
right,
where Johnson was seeking employment. This fella here, Johnson, he does openly say that he's a homosexual, right?
So the Johnson, the friend who they mentioned in the article, he's the younger one, and he openly says he's gay.
He's gay. No, the papers didn't say he's gay. Ian Allen, when he was speaking about him, didn't say he's gay, but the people who he does work around,
right,
he has openly said he's gay,
right.
So
that's the regular John Public people. Everybody, you know, what you call John Public, or the what people publicly say is that he says that he is gay, right?
Right. So apparently in Trinidad, once you're a homosexual, whatever, people just try to not to talk about that, but talk about other things. They just try to cover it.
Right.
Right. They won't speak about it.
Right.
Right.
And that ain't just Trinidad. That's everywhere. Everywhere, you know, the homosexuality gets a pass. Homosexuality gets a pass, and by it getting a pass, everything else gets a pass. Every other form of sexual deviancy also gets a pass. You know what I mean? But we're gonna check it out. Go ahead.
Right. So what was happening here now? Is a convict in 2008 for the fraud signatures in HGC. He was also working in WASA, suspended in WASA because of he's a person of interest in the murder of some manager in Wassa, right? And he's also a consultant in the Fortress Security Service Limited, right? So what the papers really saying against Johnson is the allegation that is against him of he's a false person, he get convicted. They were saying why it is the Chief Justice carrying him away to do business meetings, and he's a convict or a former convict in 2008 with the charges, right? So they're saying why is he doing that? So they're saying he had to clear the air and say why does he have a convict, and you understand, listen to what the convict him to do to change his security firm to his security firm, because he's a consultant with the Fortress Security, and he want the Chief Justice to let all the judges in Trinidad change their security to the Fortress Security Limited, which is Dylan Johnson owning away because he's a consultant, right?
Right. Which is what politicians always do, stuff like that, where they use their clout and their position politically to, you know, funnel money into their personal circle or into their own pockets via contracts or connections. You know what I mean? So that's an old school politicians game where, I mean, you know, everyone from, you know, president, prime minister, state senator, you know, minister, junior minister, mayor, ombudsman, you know what I mean, any local representative. That's one of the perks of politics. That's why a lot of people run for politics, because once you're in there, you put yourself smack in the river of cash flow. Like a politician, imagine you have a river, and in the river, instead of water, it's money flowing. And because you're a politician, you are allowed to stand in that river. Right. And all you have to do is get something, you know, something big enough, and you push some of the money to the side. That's like if you had water, you would put something in the river to divert where that river flows. And that's what they do with, you know, with finances. They have companies, they set it up, they have engineering. One of the most common ways they do it is road work. What is called this thing? Road and infrastructure then. Like you look at those companies that do, you know, maintaining the roads, paving the roads, sidewalks, hedges, cleaning companies. They use that because it's common and it's something everybody needs. So either they would own it, or a friend or a family member might own it, and that family member always gets the contract for it. Right. You get the point? It's called, they have a word for it. It's a form of nepotism. It's a form of nepotism where you place somebody in a position because of your personal relationship with them, and not because of their qualifications, or not because it, you know, they went through a fair bidding process. You understand? That's there's a famous there's an East Indian contractor in Trinidad, or East Indian or Chinese. He's a contractor. He have a ton of them, you know, big 18-wheeler trucks. Them
Junior Sammy, Salakia, Junior Sammy.
Junior Sammy, brother. Junior Sammy don't know a goddamn thing about road work. I'm telling you straight up and down. He may know about it now, but Junior Sammy started off just owning trucks and tractors and started getting contracts. And, you know, with the amount of money over time, he probably learned how to fix a road. I don't know if it's the same way now, but at one time, anytime there was government work being done in Trinidad that involved paving the road, digging up the road, excavating, clearing land, it was always Junior Sammy trucks. Right? What is it like now? Is it the same way where he's always there, or there's new contractors?
The big projects, he does be there.
Now, huge ones, he be there. When I was there, he wasn't getting the huge ones. He would get minor projects, but it would be government projects. Minor projects, pave a side street, pave something. So in that space of time, he accumulated enough money and now the expertise because he could invest in his company. So now he gets the big projects. Another example of that is you ever heard the name Ish Galbaran Singh?
I heard the name already.
Right, Ish Galbaran Singh was involved with the then UNC government with the airport project, with the Piako airport project.
Right.
And I mean, they set aside, I think, millions or close to $1 billion or $2 billion as a airport improvement project. And for years, there was no work being done, and Ish was getting paid. And they had a whole inquiry into it, investigations. People was about to get locked up. You remember there was a UNC minister called Danraj
Singh.
Danraj Singh. They used to call him the sheriff because in all his speeches he would always say there's a new sheriff in town. I don't know if you remember that. Danraj Singh was involved in that I won't call it politics, but in that that exchange of money, right? Compromised somehow. And in his compromise, he was going to turn coat. He was going to turn on them. Danraj got locked up, I believe, on fraud charges. He was facing a whole ton of time. And in jail, they say he committed suicide. I don't know how true it is, right? But all that is because of their all that is because of that thing that we was just speaking about, which is it's like political pawn, it's like political chess, where they put their people in place to funnel the money towards them. You get the point? Right? So that's what's going on there. Now tell me about the whole faggotry. There's some faggotry involved there now.
Right. Yeah, right. So like if I posted on my wall, and next article in the news, I just posted up that he also got this Dylan Johnson about more than one house. I can't remember how much, but I posted on my wall. Right. So the news is saying that people waiting there 10 years, 16 years for HDC house. And this fella, Dylan Johnson, just get some houses just so because of the Chief Justice. Now, of course, the news is safeguarding themselves, and it is allegations, right? So they're saying the Chief Justice have to come and make his statement to clear the air against all these allegations against him.
Well, that's all right? it is. So, legally, they have to say allegations, or else it will mean they could be sued for slander.
Right.
But me and you know, being Trinidad is like a very small classroom in a building. Like everybody know everybody on the island. It's possible for that to happen. And the streets, the people on the street would know what's really going on. And that's where the alleged this and the allegations that 90% of the time be the truth.
Right.
Right? So now, the Chief Justice, he's doing favors for this man. Now, these is two brothers or two heathens?
Two brothers. Right?
Two brothers. Right? What was Israel?
Right. And if I may say, like, he is married with 2 children, the Chief Justice.
That don't mean a goddamn thing.
Right.
He could have 10 children. Right. In America, it's called a beard. It's called having a beard. Like how a brother would have hair on his face and say you have a good beard. In America, they call it when someone who's a politician or a famous actor don't be homosexual. That person's spouse, if it's a man, he's homosexual. That woman he's married with, or if it's a woman, she's a lesbian, that man she's married to, they call it a beard. Right? Something you wear. You wear you're going out. Right? You wear it and you wear it when you're going out. There's plenty actors, plenty politicians who they say that's this person's beard, that's person's beard. So being married with children, when you're at a certain level, that's it. I mean, any level, it doesn't mean anything when it comes to the sexual deviance. You get the point?
Oh, God. I know. It's like if I'm I heard Commandant General Yahannah was saying it is easy to change a lesbian. Once it have righteous, strong men, it is easy to change a lesbian. So I remember him saying that because my friend who was, well, a bisexual, I would say at that time, she was telling me I was the first man that she ever told she liked girls. And I was the first man ever said that that is wrong and you shouldn't do that. You should stop it. She said every other man does agree with it or want to come and join, want to watch. You know, so it was like strange to her. Right?
Go ahead.
So I was saying, well, then it is the men who does encourage women to become lesbians.
I'm gonna give you a hand, brother. I'm gonna give you a hand for two reasons. One, for representing the spirit of Christ without compromise. You understand? Without compromise. Which means, okay, growing up in the world, brother, okay, the white man has done separated sexual deviancy so much where we look at a homosexual means, you know, same sex. Homo is one, right? Homosexual, same sex, homogeneous, right? Singular, right? A lesbian is also a homosexual. But we have a different word for women who like women, which is lesbian, right? We have a word for men who like men, which is traditionally homosexual. Then you have gay and faggot. You have a word for men who like women and men, or women who like women and men, which is bisexual or trisexual, how much ever you want. Then you have, what else we have? You have a word for people who like sex with animals, which is bestiality. You have a word for people who like children, which is pedophilia. Give me some more. There's some more stuff. You have a word for people who like what's that thing with the clips and the chains and the whips and, you know, burning and torturing, which is, they call it S&M, sadistic masochist or whatever. I could never pronounce the M1, but S&M. They have a word for it all. It's all a form of sexual deviancy, adultery. You get the point? It's all a form of sexual deviancy. And that's why that sister you speaking about, every man she's encountered has had to be a lesbian somewhat. Why? Because as men growing up in the world, or growing up Christian, let me put it like that, Christianity teaches everything that's self, everything that's for yourself. It teaches you to be selfish. So a Christian, he or she is only concerned with what fills their stomach, what quenches their thirst, and what gives them an orgasm, no matter what. So as a man who is a Christian, you look at a lesbian not as a sexual deviant, but as somebody that can give me an orgasm. So now she come and tell you she like girls or she's bisexual. You now trying to find a way to have a threesome with this broad. Man, you get the point, man, you will. Because that woman can give him sexual gratification. Now he can have pleasure beyond pleasure, or what he thinks is pleasure. When he doesn't understand it, it's destroying his soul and destroying that woman's soul. You get the point? And this is why it's so evil. Because what you're really telling me without saying it, as a man in the world who would forward, I want to say forward, meaning encourage or promote a lesbian or threesomes, you are letting me know that get pleasure from this person, you will allow them to continue doing what they do. You ever notice how brothers, now those same people, you ever notice how amongst our people, especially in Caribbean, especially Benjamites, we are gun-ho to stone a faggot. Brother, I've seen some tapes where, I mean, they put the tires around the faggot out and throw gas and light him up, and then bricks thrown at the faggot head, right? And, you know, they quote the scripture, sodomite for dead, and blah, 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 blah. All well and good. No problem. The scripture does say that. You know what I'm speaking about.
Okay.
Right? You know in the Caribbean there's brothers, even in this effeminate society, there's brothers who would put a faggot to death on sight. Now, how many videos or how many accounts or how many news reports, how many secret Facebook live videos have you ever seen of a mob putting a whore to death? You understand? Get Deuteronomy 23 and 17. Real quick. Deuteronomy 23 and 17, or 7, whichever one it is. I think it's 7. 17. Right? Get Deuteronomy 23 and 17.
17, right. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, or a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Right? There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel, and no sodomite of the sons of Israel. Like, everybody reads the scripture and just go to the sodomite. You understand? And they forget the whore. Like, I've never seen a video where they're putting a whore to death, unless it was on them. You get the point? Unless that's their woman and she was secretly a whore and they just find out. I've seen plenty of videos. A brother sent me a video. He said he had a ton of them. He didn't know he offended me slightly, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Where, okay, you probably see the video where this man has this sister in a house. I believe it's Colombia or somewhere, or Dominica. And he has her in a room in the house. The house is unfinished, so the floor is bare with the concrete. It's red bricks on the walls. And there's a window there. And brother, she is there, and he has a 2x4, brother, and cracking this broad in the head. Cracking, I'm talking. She get hit in the head, brother, and it's like she's stupid. She just in a daze, and he full out beating the broad in her hip with the thing. You get the point? Because she hold on him. And he puts it up because, of course, it's wrong to be a hoe. It's wrong to commit adultery, all well and good. But now, you only doing it because she hoe on you. What about all the hoes in the strip club? What about the hoes? No, I ain't seen nobody dragging Nicki Minaj out. I ain't seen nobody dragging that other one, Cardi B. Everybody love Cardi B, and that's a glorified whore. She's a slut.
Right.
Ain't nobody stoning her and putting her to death. You get the point? So only when something kind of appeals you carnally, you willing to give it a pass, which means you willing to allow a sister to be a hoe because she can give you an orgasm. You willing to allow a sister to be a lesbian because she can give you an orgasm. But a brother who is a faggot, he has to die. Why? Because he can't give you an orgasm. You get the point?
Oh, okay.
All of a sudden, the law matters to him because he is useless to you. Because your mindset is base and low. It only involves what you could eat, what you could drink, and who you could have sex with. And since brothers not knowing any better, they ain't know no better. I ain't fully slamming them. They ain't know no better. That homosexual can't give them nothing, so he have to die. But this whore and this stripper and this lesbian, because she could blow your rod. And she could get her whole friends to come and give you a 3-some or 4-some or 5-some. You get the point? So we allow it to happen. Right. When the Bible puts them both together. Read the scripture one more time.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore Israel, or a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
The reason those two things are in the same verse is because the Lord sees them equally as sexual deviancy. You get the point? You understand? There's no separation with it. They're all forms of sexual deviancy. So when that sister, she was shocked that you say, listen, man, let me tell you something too. Okay, Lord be with her, and I really hope she listened to you and whatever you're saying to her so she could come into the truth and change her life and experience the joy of being a righteous woman. But the reason she is letting you know she is a lesbian low key, even though you know her personally, low key is to try to have sex with you. Because she knows men like having sex with her even though she likes women. And men are turned on by her. And in a twisted way, that desire, that lust that we have makes women feel wanted and loved. And it's a twisted way, but that's really what a woman wants to feel. A woman needs to feel loved. She needs to feel wanted by someone. But because of the Christian church, it gets so corrupted through child molestation, through abuse, that those women grow up, and brothers grow up thinking this is the only way I can experience love. So now the sexual deviancy becomes a part of their life. It becomes their lifestyle, because this is what love is. Love is this grown man having sex with me and passing me to his friends. And I'm cool with that because everybody wants me. That's why these hoes get glorified. Like, ain't no woman want to go show her ass and her breast to everybody. But after a while, she likes doing it because in her mind, this is love and that's not love. You get the point?
Right.
So now that sister, she's shocked that you tell her, listen, this shit is wrong. What the hell is you doing? She's shocked at it because this is the first time she's met a brother who is a really obeys the Lord. You understand?
Right.
This is the first time she met him. So now the burden going to be on her going forward to really check herself and examine and come to class. She should be in class. She should be watching the tape right now so she could change her goddamn life, man, and not die like a common dog in the street. Not die like a regular whore and faggot and lesbian and drug dealer and drug addict, which is the lifestyle of the white man. His lifestyle is moral decadence, is, orgies and getting high out your mind and having sex with dogs and cats and rats and horses. That's what his lifestyle is. That's not our life. But we try to be like him. And because we try to be like him, being that we are not him, the Lord punishes us more for it. You understand? So that's the twisted form of sexual deviancy that's going on. There's no difference between a whore and a faggot. There's no difference between a child molester and a rapist. There's no difference between a homosexual and a rapist. You get the point? A rapist is a homosexual. The very nature of how he does his stuff. Roughing up a woman, beating her up in the face, everything like that. That's you taking a man, you fighting a man there. It's the same thing. And in the Bible, Gomorrah, when they came to Lot's house, and in Judges 19, when those men of Baal, those Benjamites, those men of Baal, when they came to the brother's house to get the Levite's wife, to get the Levite, and then the Levite gave him the woman. They first asked for men, which lets you know the spirit of a faggot is the spirit of a rapist. You get the point? It's the same spirit. And I know you've been seeing the videos that come out of Jamaica with the they call him the Beast. Is a light-skinned dude. He bleach himself sometimes. And he be tossing them women all over the place, diving off of the table on top of them. I forget his slave name, but they call him the Beast. Because he get bareback, wear skinny jeans. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Just type the name in. They call him something the Beast. And he is low-key a homosexual. He is a low-key homosexual. I'm going to tell you it straight up and down. You can look at the way the brothers deal with the sisters and know this is a homosexual spirit. You get the point? So it's all a big mishmash, a big old, bowl of sexual gumbo. That's the best way. It's a big old mess, which has to get cleaned up through the spirit of the Lord. You understand? And it occurs in high places, which is why this Chief Justice is having sex with these men. Because it occurs in high places and they get the power to do it because it's really the Roman way of life. It's Roman lifestyle. And of course, every government on the earth today is a descendant or a baby of the Roman Empire. So Roman culture pervades. He's a judge and a justice. And now he is, flying men all over the earth, to stick his rod in their behind. Like, what type of pleasure is that? You get the point? Like, you Chief Justice, you could have any woman you want. Every day I'm reading in Trinidad, they're arresting all them Brazilian and Venezuelan women dancing in them strip clubs. Hell, you want some wives? Go get shit. You're a Chief Justice, go get some of them women, marry them. What? The right way. but we are taught to do things the wrong way. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. There's a right way to drink alcohol. There's a wrong way to drink alcohol. You could drink alcohol and get a nice buzz, a nice head, and don't sin. You could drink alcohol and get fully lit and drunk, and now you begin to break laws. Now you want to strip naked, which is against the law. Now you want to have sex with everything you see, which is against the law. Now you want to fight, which is against the law. Fight for no reason, Salaki, which is against the law. You get the point? Like, that's a wrong way. There's a right way to have sex, and then there's a wrong way to do it. But the white man's society promotes the wrong way to do everything. And being that he's a chief justice in Trinidad, which is a former British colony, still under British rule and influence, it's strategically positioned close to the Americas, so you get influenced by this devil here. It's no surprise, brother, that he is involved in this type of thing. Right. You get the point? It's absolutely no surprise. Give me one more scripture, all right? Give me one more scripture. Give me hold on. Is something else you want to bring up?
Yeah, if I may, Trinidad laws is still against homosexuality. It have a law in Trinidad saying once you're gay, you're not even supposed to come through the airport. That it still have laws against homosexuality. So the reason why they're not bringing out that these people in high places are gay is, I don't know why, because, well, they know it's illegal. So
right.
He might have to go in jail for it, so they wouldn't see it. You understand? So just to protect him. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely, the law still stands. I believe it's buggery. Right. I think that's still a law, is buggery, which is the white man's term for anal sex. It's buggery, right? That's why in Trinidad we used to call them booger man, because you're a booger man. You a man, like, you know, going in people behind, right? I believe it's still against the law, right? So it's no surprise that even though the law still exists, they
right,
you know, they would have protection because of you know, their position in power. Brother, there's a scripture I'm looking for, brother, and the words is I can't remember the exact words in the damn thing. It's gonna come back to me. It's gonna come back to me. Any more on that article?
No, right now they're just waiting for him to. They say he's in Australia. Let me see. They say he's in the Netherlands.
In Australia.
He's in the Netherlands on official business, and when he returns back, they want him to clear the air.
He in Netherlands on official booty business. That's what he in. That's what he in. He an official tail business. He on buttocks business. He going over there for buttocks. That's what he going for.
Right.
Boy, it's insane. Just read the opening again for that. Let me get the names out. In the meantime, while I search for this thing.
The article, okay.
Yeah, just the part where they're talking about the name, so I could get the name of it.
All right. From here. The Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago is calling on Chief Justice Ivor Archie to publicly address the allegations surrounding discussions he had with a convict on changing the judge's security. Right? Similar calls were made on Sunday by past president.
Skip to the part, Salaka. Skip to the part where they talk about where they bring out the fact that he's taking these men on trips. Public knowledge. That's not in the article.
No, that's in the article. I had it on Facebook where he was taking them on trips here in Guyana. Yeah, taking him on a trip in Guyana. That's it. All right. But I could read one here. Archie 57 and Johnson 36 communicated with each other shortly after the CJ, the Chief Justice, addressed fellow judges at a meeting suggesting the security change. The Chief Justice did not name the company at the meeting, but the Express has learned it is Fortress Security Services. Johnson was convicted in 2008 after pleading guilty on 2 counts of fraud documents bearing the names of 2 senior magistrates. These were letters addressed to the HDC, the Housing Development Corporation, where Johnson was seeking employment. Right?
All right, you could drop it there. The scripture escaping me, but brother, I believe it's Jeremiah or Ezekiel, if anybody out there know what I'm talking about, where it says the leaders of Israel commit abominations, and it's nigh unto Sodom. But even more, if you look deeper, when the Lord told the prophet, go back and look even deeper into their life, and you would see all the filth they're doing. And that's what's happening now in our community. Thing, this thing coming out there in the islands, all over you will see it, and it's damn near like that's the social climate now, because you know in America they have all the sexual harassment claims, the molestation coming out. You know what I mean? In Hollywood, all the faggotry going on, which is like the Lord cleansing the earth, and He's bringing out everything out on people. But there's a particular scripture talking about it in, I think it's Jeremiah or Ezekiel, where it's like the leaders commit these abominations. But he said, go and look even deeper and you will see more things that they're doing. Because, of course, the leaders are protected by the position. You understand? And he's a chief justice, which means he controlling punishment. And in some cases, he controlling laws, right? He's involved in the making and passing of laws. So he could do what the hell he wants. But the Lord is now going to visit him in this day. You understand?
And Salaki, it have this brother who was talking about, you know, he's not gay, right? He's not gay. But he was talking about the 10 commandments, that they have to just follow that alone. So I was saying, but the 10 commandments doesn't say that he must not be a homosexual. So he was saying, well, no, he's not gay, but he's just saying, but it has something called a hermaphrodite. I don't know if
okay, Salaki.
He says,
I know this might be your homie. This might be somebody you grew up with. But this nigga, Salaki, he is gay. He is gay. Right? He is gay. Okay, he's talking about following the 10 commandments only as a defense to what? Gay people?
Well, not a defense. My topic was the 10 commandments does not have, you mustn't lie with another man. So then
that can't be the whole law.
Yeah, so then he was saying, but people born.
Stop right there. That's an excellent cut. I will be using that in the future. Right. I will be using that. That's an excellent cut. Go ahead.
Right, so he was saying, but people are born. Like God make people hermaphrodite. He said that hermaphrodite people who have both male and female genitals.
Where is that? Right? Where's the proof of that?
I was saying I never saw that. So I mean,
well, where's the proof? He gonna have to, you know, bring me up a selfie of him with some person who has both a penis and a vagina working. So at some in the morning time when the person wakes up, the penis is erect, because that's what happens to men in the morning. It's a medical term. The medical term for it is called priapism, which is involuntary erection that happens at night. Any man wake up in the morning, you're run hard, you're going to piss. It's piss flying all over the goddamn place. That's just how it is. You do it naturally. Just like you don't have to concentrate to breathe. It's an involuntary action. So he's gonna have to show me somebody who that happens to them in the morning, and every 3 to 4 weeks, that same person bleeds out their vagina at the same time like a woman. You understand? Right. So like, I don't need to hear no more. This person is gay, right? This person is gay because this person is a sexual deviant. He is trying to justify the fact that there's no, some people are born this way, so you can't say nothing about people's lifestyle. If it is that you are if it is that now that you are, if it is that you can push back against the fight of homosexuality, meaning if he could stop you from talking about homos, then you are not going to talk about him liking white women or Indian women or African women or hoes or little girls or little boys. Because really, homosexuality, whoredom, pedophilia is all the same thing. It's sexual deviancy. So I know you started off when you said he ain't gay. Let me pause it right there. That nigga is a fact. Or he has a feminine spirit. All right? I don't know him personally. It's nothing personal. But he has an effeminate spirit. And stop right there. You have the Apocrypha? Ecclesiasticus chapter 6. All right? This is not just for you, but this is for everybody. Right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 6. And verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, first.
Do what?
Prove him first.
How you know this nigga ain't gay? You sleeping in the drawers box, or you sleeping in the you sleeping in the room when you go to bed at night and taking off his clothes?
Nah.
I know you're not, because you UPK.
Right.
You have no proof that he is not gay.
Right.
And the fact that he's fighting you on the laws and the spirit over the fact that some people are born gay is the proof that he is more gay than you think. Or more of a sexual deviant, which is the same thing.
Right.
You understand? There's no difference. It's the same thing. You understand? Read it again from the top.
Can. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Prove him first.
And be right. Can. And be not hasty to credit him.
And be not what?
Hasty to credit him.
And be not what? Be not what?
Be not hasty to credit him.
Be not hasty to credit him. What does that mean?
Don't be in a rush, or don't be fast to credit him. You know.
What does it mean, credit him?
How to say it? Maybe.
I'm gonna help you. In Trinidad, we have a saying for it: putting your head on a block for niggas.
Right.
People say that, I'm putting my head on a block for you. It's a term that comes from when executions came from cutting your head off. Where you tie your hands behind your back and you put your head on the block. Meaning this: I'm so sure this person is my homie. I could put my head on a block, and before the axe drop, this brother or sister is going to show up and save me from being killed. You understand?
Okay.
Head on a block for this person, and you don't know a goddamn thing about them. I don't care if you know this nigga for 10 years. You understand? You are my friend. You I can credit because I have proven you first. The UPK has proven you. The Lord has proven you. You understand? If we if we getting down to it, your 90 days in this truth was proof. Everything you did after your 90 days as a trooper was proof and credit to you to become an officer. You understand? And you look like you're gonna continue right in that spirit to go on and build a school down there. You understand? So I'm not doing anything wrong by being hasty to credit you. Is the same thing for every officer, every trooper, every brother and sister in this school. The 6-month rule that we have in the school. That 6-month rule, not everybody, Salakia, young brothers and sisters coming in be mad. You know why they're mad? Because coming out of the world, Christianity is in your blood. And Christianity is all about lust, what you can get. And the first thing you want to do is have sex with somebody, not knowing a goddamn thing about them. And the 6-month rule curbs that lust. Because within 6 months, this sister or brother has to prove that they're worthy to be joined in with someone. or prove that they're worthy to even be considered to be joined in with someone. You understand? So they go through their proof, and then they go through a further 6 months before they can actually be joined together. So after that year, I can safely say this woman is worthy to lay in my bed. Or a sister can say this brother is worthy to lay in my bed. Or Commandant General Yohanna can look down and say, these two Israelites here, this brother and this sister, have proved themselves. And I was not hasty to credit them. And it's a good thing that today I can bless this marriage. I know you've seen it 1,000 times on the videos, right? All the cookouts on the Passover where he blessed the marriage. He would ask, who could speak for this sister? Is she in your city? He called the captain from that city. Is this sister righteous? She's good. Let me know if there's any problems of why she shouldn't be married to this brother. Then he called who's ever over the brother. And now the evidence is there to prove that this marriage should happen. Does it mean that it'll be perfect? That they'll never argue? No, they will argue. They'll argue going home in the car. But because we prove them, we can trust that they will figure things out and work things out the way how the Lord said to work them out. You understand? So you better never, ever, 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 ever let me hear you credit anybody who is not in this school or who at least ain't in all black and did the 90 days like you. You understand?
You understand me, Ak? But I'm still
sure you understand?
All
right, no sweat.
But I'm still like an effeminate spirit just means someone who acts like a effeminate spirit.
Is a effeminate is in spirit and in flesh, where you could be a brother who has an effeminate spirit. You're like a woman. You get the point? You're like a woman. You're emotional like a woman. You break down like a woman. You can't take certain things like a woman. And you could be an effeminate by, of course, being molested at a young age and growing up being a homosexual. You understand? Right. There's some homosexuals, they're big and strong and will whoop your ass. They have the physical masculinity. You get the point? So you can't always look at that. Tyler Perry is one. That nigga is 6'5". He walk in the room in the right clothes. You would think, you know, this is a brother. He even made a movie where he was a detective acting hardcore as hell. You understand? You would never know he's the same dude who be Medea. You get my point? Another old school R&B artist who everybody loved. I don't know if you remember, if you ever heard of Jaheim.
Yes, Jaheim. He just sings slows.
He sings slows, you know what I mean? Think about how many Jaheim songs you play with your woman. Right? Jaheim is a faggot act. Salakia. And he wearing the Timbs, the white beaters, the damn do-rag, you know, his videos on the construction side, like he's the hardest core, his brother, and that nigga is a faggot act. You get the point? So there's the spiritually feminine and of course the physically feminine. But of course, a sexual deviant is a sexual deviant. The point of the last thing I brought out was don't credit nobody who's not in here. I know there might be somebody you know from before. You know them as your old man, they're around, whatever. But brother, the only people, your friends are in America. You understand? Your friends are the officers in Puerto Rico. Your friends are the officers and troopers down there in Nicaragua, in UK. You get the point? That's who your friends are. The other people are people you know from in the world. But I would never advise you to even, you know, do never, ever, you know, be a guarantor. That's in the scriptures too. Don't be a guarantor for somebody you don't trust. You don't know. And you don't know him. Don't ever say, well, he ain't no homosexual. How the hell you know? You know what I mean? If he ain't going out on the streets and teaching with you, brother, he's suspect. No disrespect to the brother. He may just be lost in the world. But listen, in the fight we are in, you ever hear people say hard times call for when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and hard times call for hard decisions? Well, we are living in an extreme time. This is an extreme time we live in where, you know, babies are being aborted. Children are, you know, being molested and raised as homosexual. There's a book, some woman wrote called My Little Princess Boy, where she says this boy, she has a son, and he grew up wanting to wear, what's the damn name of the thing? I forget what they call it, but them kind of ballerina dress with the, you know, the frills around the waist.
Right.
Grew up wanting to wear that, so she would call him her princess boy, and she wrote a book about her princess boy and said he was born that way. Excuse my language. Bitch, if the only thing he sees in the house is a woman in heels and makeup, that's the only example he has. He wasn't born that way. You raised a faggot. You get the point? So we live in an extreme time. So you must become extreme to survive, or else you will be swept away in the current of lust and sin and weakness of this world. If you're not extreme, that's why Christ said what? I prefer ye were hot or cold. But if you are lukewarm, I will spit you out, because a lukewarm doesn't do anything. Yeah. If it's cold outside in the middle of winter, you get a hot cup of tea or coffee. It warm you up. If it's hot outside in the summer, you get something cold to drink. If it's lukewarm, it doesn't serve a purpose. You have to be extreme. Either you're boiling hot, you're red hot, laser hot, or you're ice cold, whichever one you want to be, but don't be in the middle. You get the point? Don't be in the middle. We always say, if you're not in the UPK, brother, you're suspect. For sisters too. Right? That's why Jeremiah Hyman always say, not every hoe in a head wrap is in the truth. Just because she wrap her head don't mean she righteous. You get the point?
Right. That's what you mentioned.
Serena Williams play all the damn tennis in the world with a head wrap and go lay down and let a dog impregnate her. Right? That head wrap don't mean shit. You get the point? Slaki, go ahead. What was you going to say?
Yes, Slaki, that's what you just mentioned there about the woman raising up her child to be, right? No, my people used to tell her that they was born gay and they was born so. Believe them, because she was in the world. So I showed her scripture, and since I showed her that scripture, she never really mentioned those people being born that way. That was Proverbs 22:6. Right? It says, train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Damn right. Excellent precept. Excellent precept. And it's good. It's not too meaty. It's milk. It's something somebody who is new could understand it. Go ahead.
Right.
You was going to say something else?
Yes, I was just showing how that people don't born at this, just something they went through in the past life, or their parents just didn't care better.
Exactly.
So once you train your child correctly, they'll grow up good.
They'll grow up right. If a faggot was born a faggot, then I was born loving to have 6 women. You get the point?
Right.
I was born loving wives. Don't fault me. I was born this way. I like women. Don't fault me because I had one. Right? If faggots was born that way, then the brother who's selling drugs, he was born with a predisposition to get to engage in chemical experiments. Right? He loves selling drugs. He was born that way. The brother who liked to shoot up the block, he was born loving to squeeze triggers. What do you want? Why is he in jail? You understand? A faggot is a criminal in the Lord's eyes. A lesbian is a criminal. A whore is a criminal. And you can't separate criminals. You can't say, well, a faggot was born this way, and the brother who in charge of the Bloods or the Crips or the Gangster Disciples, he's a criminal. It's either he was born that way too, or the faggot is a criminal like the drug dealer and the gangster is a criminal. You get the point? You can't separate the two. Of course, in this wicked society we live in, they separate sin. When the Bible says there's no sin greater than another, sin is sin. You understand? But of course, now we're building a righteous nation. That's what we're doing. That's by the foolishness of preaching. We go out and teach and come back home. Live, obey the Lord, go back to war and go teach, come back home. In time, you will teach enough people that we'll have a nation. And a faggot's going to get his head cut off, a lesbian going to get her head cut off. A whore gonna get their head cut off. A drug dealer gonna get his head severed. A murderer gonna get his head severed. Not because of favor, but because that's the law. You understand?
Okay. And
point?
So before I came to the truth, I was listening to a brother who was against those things. In that it has a book called the DSM. Is the statistical DSM is the diagnostic man's order. All right.
That's right.
He was
and they revise that ever so often.
Yeah, so he was saying in that book, homosexuality was a mental disorder, right? But in 1974, he said it was scientifically proven that it is a mental disorder. But in 1974, because of a political vote in America, they changed it and said it is normal now. It is not a mental disorder, with no scientific evidence.
Right.
So if something is to come normal, eventually it will become legal, because it was illegal too.
That's it. Listen, that what you're talking about there, that's in the Bible. Let me go to it quickly, then we'll get to Genesis. All right, I ain't gonna let the time run out and we can hit Genesis. We're gonna go over the time a little bit tonight by about 15 minutes. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 quickly, and then we get to Genesis, the creation. All right. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse verse 10.
Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 10.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time. You went kind of out there as he was reading.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Oppress the poor, righteous men.
Right? This is what the Greeks in this time did. This is how they thought, the Greeks and the Romans, the Edomites. They said, let us oppress the poor righteous men. And this is what the wicked of Israel did to us too. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. And that's what's going on today. Keep going.
Let us not spare the widow. No. And gray hairs of the age.
Right? They say, let us not spare the widow or reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. And that's what happens. That's what you see. You see all the police brutality. They don't spare the widow. They kill that brother Philando Castile right in front of his woman, and then went on to vilify her in the public, talking about she deserved that to happen to her and blah 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 blah, because she was this way and that way and whatever other way that didn't seem right to them. They don't spare the widow. You get the point? They don't spare the aged either. They would murder a young man and a young woman the same way they murder an old person. You get the point? Right. They would do it the exact same way without any sort of any sort of conscience about it. They don't care. You understand what I'm saying? They absolutely don't care about it. Right. They don't give a damn about it. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. Right?
Keep reading. Come on.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Let our what?
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Let our strength be the law of justice. Read it one more time.
Strength be the law of justice.
You understand? That's what they say. They say, let our strength be the law of justice. Go ahead.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
You understand? For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. You understand? It's found to be nothing worth. What is that saying? What do you understand by that?
For that which is weak is found to be nothing worth.
Say that one more time. Oh, you missed the whole. You missed the whole first part.
Right. Right. When I said let our strength be the law of justice, our strength, who we are, let that be the law of the justice, righteously.
No, this is the white man. He says to himself, let our strength be the law of justice. Meaning what? He uses the law to strengthen him.
Right.
You get the point? He uses the law to strengthen him. For that which is feeble is found to be worth nothing. Meaning we are the feeble ones. And to him, we worthless. So he uses the law to be strong against us. The white man murders us. And in order to murder us, he makes the laws applicable to murder us. So he, passed the law to smoke weed legally. He passed the laws on this, passed the laws on that. And now we're driving around drunk, walking around high. It's concealed carry, which is fully lawful. But now he could say, well, I feared for my life. So now he could blow your head away. You get the point?
Right.
Before, as you said from the DSM, homosexuality was a mental disorder. The white man has changed the laws for his strength. You understand?
Right.
He wanted to be a faggot openly, so he made it not a mental disorder. You understand? All the American presidents back in days faggots. They all used to wear dresses and go to all kind of secret sexual parties. You get the point? They all do it. Right. They all do it, all fully effeminate, just like this Chief Justice here. I guarantee if you could put a camera on his shoulder, that nigga putting on lipstick, high heels, and a damn dress and twerking on another man. Right. You understand? So that's them. All right, let's move on there. Genesis 1, Salakia, come on. I had to finish this tonight. I ain't pushing it off another week. Let's go. Genesis 1 and 1.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning,
let's go.
Right. In the beginning, power created the heaven and the earth. Right? Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void. Right? And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of power moved upon the face of the waters. Right? And power said, let there be light, and there was light. Right? And power saw the light, that it was good. And power divided the light from the darkness. Right? And power called the light day, and the darkness he called the night.
Right? So now let's stop right there. Right? So far, I know last week I think we got up to what? Verse 2. Right?
Right.
Give me what you understand.
From verse 3 or right? Well, all right. The earth was without form and void, meaning there was nothing there. It didn't have nothing.
Go ahead.
It was empty. The darkness was upon the face of the deep. It was dark. Right? It was just darkness. Right?
It was just darkness. Go ahead.
Right. And the spirit of power moved waters. And you know, explaining that was space, because space does have the same in water as in space. There's called space water too. Because in water it does move.
Right.
Certainly, and in space it can move the same. Right.
Right? That's exactly it. Right? They call it the waters. Right? Because it has the same properties somewhat. Right? It has the same properties somewhat to the point where, you move and float around damn near the same way. All right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 3, and let there be light. and there was light.
Right? So now, read it one more time. Read verse 3 again.
Verse 3, and power said, let there be light, and there was light.
Right? The Lord said, let there be light, and there was light. Right? Go ahead.
And power saw the light, that it was good. And power divided the light from the darkness.
Right? So now, hold on one second. Trooper Zahab, just send me a message on the Facebook and I'll hit you the link. All right? So anybody who wants the link to be in the Hangouts, just send me a message on Facebook and I'll send the link to you. All right? Send me a message on Facebook Messenger and I'll post the link right there to you so you could get into the Hangouts. Also type your email in, because sometimes they have me add your email to the Hangout so you could get in. All right, you already did. All right, no sweat. I got you right now. Oh, I see you here. You know, sweat. I got you, brother. All right, Galawan. So, okay, when does it say when the Lord said, "Let there be light"? Right? What is He saying? Is He talking about? Go ahead. Let me know your answer.
Well, well, I would say the sun.
All right. For time's sake, I would have went on first, but for time's sake, I'm gonna let you know the answers now as we go along. This is not the sun.
Right.
Right. This is not the sun. This is a portion where light was. All right. This is what you want to think. Ain't got no damn paper. All right. This is what you want to think. Think when you see it. Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I could Let me see if I could help you all understand it a little bit. All right, I'm getting a little fancy here. All right, give me 1 second. I read it one more time, guys.
Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. Right? And power said, let there be light, and there was light. Right? And power saw the light, that it was good.
Say the power.
Right. And the power.
Say the power.
Yeah.
Instead of the power.
Yeah. Saw the light, that it was good. And the power divided the light from the darkness.
Right? And the power divided the light from the darkness. Okay, so this is what you want to look at. All right. Let's see, hopefully it's back up. All right. You'll see this whiteboard, right? Right, everybody could see it. If Facebook, everybody could see it. Let's imagine this was all black. Right? You see like how we see it in white? Just imagine it was all black. This is how it was in the beginning, without void. It was void, without shape. You get the point? Without anything on it. All right? Then the power said, let there be light. Right? And now we have light. You get the point? There's just light shining in this area. Right? Think of a construction site. Any construction site that you've ever seen. Before they start, driving piles into the ground and making a foundation, that area, that building is without shape or form. That building would be the earth. There's no form. There's just space. And then now, what do they come and do? They section off, okay, this is the area we're going to work in. And they put some big floodlights so they could work at night. You understand? So wherever there's light is where they're going to work. So now there's an area here that's lit. In the middle of the darkness, there's just a light. And then he said he separated what? Keep reading.
Verse 4, and the power saw the light.
Nah, it's just the brother just came on. Anybody else wants the hangout link, just send me a message on Facebook. All right?
All right. Genesis chapter 1, verse 4. And the power saw the light, that it was good. Power divided the light from the darkness.
Right? He saw the light that it was good, and the power divided the light from the darkness. All right, Kenneth Merritt. Do you don't have okay, send an email to this address here. I'm typing it in for you, all right? All right, just Kenneth Merritt, just send the email to that address and I'm gonna send it in for you. All right, send it over there for you. Anybody else, if you don't have Facebook, let me know. I'll send the link there for you, right? So now, Galawan, there's light here, right? Just like I'm asking you all to focus on the board here. You shouldn't be focused on anything out here. You understand?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Right? You all shouldn't be focused on anything out here. Here. So it's the same thing with the light. Read that part again, Ak. You with me or not?
Can.
Read verse 4 one more time.
And the power saw the light, that it was good. And the power divided the light from the darkness.
Right? So he divided the light from the darkness. And then there was darkness here, but then he put light. Separation of light from the dark. That separation is called what? To that. We're going to get that out after. All right? But just think, there's an area here that's lit. And there's an area here that's lit. And outside is dark. Just like the board. I'm asking you all to focus on the board. That's the area that's lit. Everything outside is irrelevant. You get the point? You with me up?
Can.
All right. Keep going.
And the power called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Right?
Then,
read that part. Hold on. Read that part one more time.
Can. And the power called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
All right.
And
go ahead.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Okay. What do you understand there so far?
Well, he said the light as it was now showing when he brought that outside was the darkness. He called that light day, and the darkness outside he called it night.
Right. So now, go ahead.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Yeah,
that's it. So now, is the light the sun?
No, la.
But then he's saying he called the light day and darkness night.
Can.
So what is?
What? So like what? So like what was that?
Okay, why do they call the darkness day? I mean the light day and the darkness night.
So that we would know that to have a separation between the two.
But is it talking about day and night?
Well, yeah, to me, yeah, I would say.
That's what it would seem like, but it's not talking about day and night because there's no sun.
Right.
You understand? This is just, he's, okay, in this area where it's or daytime.
Right.
Not daytime or day. They call it day. But he's referring, because when you go into Hebrew, it talks about he separated the light from the dark. You understand?
Right.
Not the day from the night. The English is that. But it's talking about he separated the light from the dark, meaning this area is lit, the rest is dark.
Right.
Right? So now it's just talking about that. Now the evening and the morning was the
the evening and the morning were the first day.
Right? So now the evening and the morning passed. Not talking about night or daylight, but it's talking about a time frame. So the time frame for evening passed and the time frame for morning passed. And that was the first day. So on the first day, the Lord marked off the area he was going to create on. He made it light. In the middle of all the darkness with the waters, he made it light. So there's bright light there. That's the first day, like any construction site. The first thing they do is they come to put the floodlights on so the crew could work at night. They set up. They're setting up. Now we're going into the second day to start working. Keep reading.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 6. And the power said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters.
I read that one more time, Mark. You went out there a little bit.
And the power said, a firmament in the midst of the waters.
Right? And let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. You know what a firmament is?
That's like the sky, or that's like
a little bit more specific. Does anybody knows what a firmament is?
It's like a separation between the sky and the land, or is what on the earth.
You onto it. You onto it. Anybody want to try? Anybody else? If you need to look it up, you could look it up. Let me see if anybody on Facebook is answering. All right, just type it in. Venegas, you right, the Most High made a difference. Zahab Tawab Foundation, not quite, but it is a foundation part of the earth. Think a construction site. After they identify where they're going to work, what goes up next usually? Callaway, I saw your question. We're going to get to it tonight. No, it's not the sun. You're going to see later on that it's not the sun. I'm scrolling down now, so I'm seeing it. Salakia for responding so late. But it's that light was not the sun, right? The sun comes later, and it tells you that. All right? Anybody else? Firmament, Naquam, not clouds. Come on, Azana, yeah, man. You cheating, man. Come on, Ain't no captains answer nothing in this class, all right? This class, captains can't understand nothing, right? Can't answer nothing, Salakia. It's the ozone layer, right? Konaya Gabar, you want it a frame, not the trench, but in any construction site, after they identify the spot, they come with them long fences, like Miller Long. They put them fences up to block the construction site off. You understand? They bar it off. So the Lord created a firmament, which is the ozone layer. Right? Something that encapsulates this space. It separates it physically. The firmament is something hard. That's why it's called firmament. F-I-R-M. Firmament. Right? It's firm, it's hard. That's why when the white man went to the moon, he had to bore holes in the ozone layer. He had to burst through it to get to the moon. That's why there's holes in the ozone layer. That's why the UV rays come to the earth now than pre-space travel, right? Because now there's holes in the ozone layer because the white man done burst through it. That's why you see every movie when they're coming back to Earth. What happens when the spaceship enters the Earth's atmosphere? Who knows?
Salaka, it gets red hot.
Why does it get red hot?
Because it bursts through the ozone layer. It have.
Okay, think. Azana, I was just joking at Salakia. I was joking, brother. You can answer anything you want. But think, what makes something get hot? It don't just get hot just like that.
Temperature.
A little bit more than the temperature.
Friction.
Friction. Right? Anybody else who wants to answer? The other two brothers who on there, don't just be on there. Y'all, you know, if you all don't want to answer, answer. Everybody gonna learn, right? So there's a layer, just like the Earth has different layers. There's a layer. This is actually not just like a line; it's thick. It's a thick thing going around. You understand? Just think there's something here. The wall. And as this little spaceship is going through, anywhere on the Earth, it rubs along as it's going through. So the friction of that layer, it heats up. It heats up. That's why it's so rough coming back in. The white man don't tell you it. He's the one who put holes in the ozone layer. And all that nonsense. He did it. He burst the barrier. You get the point? Karamiala, you're right. Friction, all right? So now we have the firmament, otherwise known as the ozone layer. Keep going.
Come. And let it divide the waters from the waters.
And let it divide the waters from the waters. Meaning what?
Well, the waters on Earth and the waters in space, meaning space and literal
You're right.
water on Earth?
No, because there ain't no
Earth. They know it yet.
No water there yet.
Right.
So. Right? He's saying let it divide the waters here from the waters here. Just like saying, let's divide the land. Let's divide this land from that land. Let's divide the waters here from here. Let's divide this space from this space. You get the point? So he divided space now. So now this is our real estate. This is our prime land. That's the Lord. That's where the Lord gonna work. All right, go ahead. Right, waters, aka space. Same thing here. AKA also known as space, right? This is the space, this is the part of space that the Earth is going to occupy. Okay? Let's go. Quickly, come on.
So it's like Genesis chapter 1 verse 7. Right? And the power made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
You understand? He divided the waters under it from the waters above it. You get the point? The waters under it to the waters above it. Outside of it, inside. All right? Keep going.
Right. And the power called the firmament heaven. Right? And
Right?
the evening, right?
Hold on. And the power called the firmament heaven, meaning just like there's different forms of heaven.
Right.
Right? There's what? There's 4 different forms of heaven, right? You have the heaven that's above the earth's atmosphere, right? You have the firmament that's called heaven, right? You have space that's called the heavens, and you have the 4th dimension where the Most High lives that's called heaven. Right. Firmament and space is the same thing as heaven, right? You have the heavens above where the clouds are at. You have the heaven where the Lord lives, and then you have heaven, which is a condition of being on the earth. You get the point? So if you standing on land, everything below the firmament is our heavens in terms of the sky. Then you have the firmament and space, which is the heavens. Then you have a heaven where the Most High lives, which is we call it the 4th dimension, because we are, of course, 3-dimensional people. We call it in the truth, we've always called that the 4th dimension, where the Lord's throne room is. And then you have the condition of being in heaven, which is what the white man lives today. Everybody get it? Yeah. All right, so we call this firmament the heaven. All right, let's go.
And the power called the firmament heaven, and the morning were the 2nd day.
Evening and the morning was the 2nd day. So now that time period passed one more time. The time period of evening, the time period of morning, and now we have the 2nd day. So that was day 2, right? So day 1 was light. Day 2 was the firmament, right? So that's all we have. We didn't have nothing else. Let's go now. Keep going. Let them know where you're at. Anybody else? 1 second. Anybody, other brother who's on there wants to take a shot at reading?
No, sir. I gotta mess the Bible.
No sweat. All right, no sweat. The brother, the last brother who came in, I forgot his name. I forgot his slave name. The one who was sent the email to. You're gonna have to uncover your head in the class unless there's a hole in the top of that stocking.
It is. It's a hole up there.
That's right. I hear you loud and clear. This is Trooper Zahab. All right, Mosai, I hear you clear, brother. You want to take a shot to read? Sure. All right, no sweat. Galawan, you can take a rest and just follow along. All right, make sure you're following. All right,
yeah.
All right, go ahead,
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 9. And the Most High Power said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place."
Right? So now he's saying, no, I'm going to just erase this here. Now he's saying, under the heavens, which is under this firmament, let the waters be gathered into one place. So now he took space and he's like, okay, I'm going to make here just be waters. This area is water. All right? He separated it. Keep going.
And let the dry land appear.
And let what?
And let the dry land appear.
And let dry land appear. So now in moving the water, the atmosphere, dry land appear. So just think, wherever there was not water, there was dry land. You get the point? So now in the beginning, you had the waters, which was space. And the same properties as the water that we have on the earth is the same properties like space. It's the same thing. Now as he has the firmament, in here we have actual water. You get the point? Actual water. And now he separated the water in one area. So now there's land everywhere else. So in terms, okay, don't think this shape. I'm just drawing something, just drawing something for illustration purposes. But think wherever there's land, there's no water. So let's say, you have America going down into Florida right here. All right, look like America and Canada. And over here, you have big ugly stinking Africa and Europe. And then you have Iceland, and this is up here. Everywhere else is water. This is land. Right? So don't, as I'm drawing it first how it's written so you understand it. But of course, he's separating all the waters into one place so that land appeared. So in other words, he separated the waters and land appeared there. You get the point?
Okay.
In land, right? Keep going.
And it was so.
And it was so, right? Go ahead. And meaning what? As he gave the order to the angels to do it, they did it. It was so. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the Most High Power called the dry land earth.
Mm-hmm. And he called the dry land what?
Earth.
Earth. You understand? He called the dry land earth. Go ahead.
And the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Right?
And the gathering of the waters he called seas. Why is it seas and not sea? Because there's a gathering of water over here. Which one is which? I forget. Pacific, Atlantic, you'll figure it out. All right? So you have seas, right? You have seas here. You have the Caribbean Sea. You have Atlantic. This would be the Atlantic, I believe. Right? This is the Pacific, right? Pacific Ocean, right? All that is seas. You have different seas all over the place. So that's what he called it. Keep going.
And the Most High Power saw that it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11.
Right? So he saw that it was good, meaning what? He was pleased with the work that the angels was doing.
And I won't count. Verse 11.
Go ahead.
And the Most High Power said, let the earth bring forth grass.
Mm-hmm.
The herb yielding seed. And the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind.
Mm-hmm.
Those seed is itself upon the earth. And it was so.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind.
Come on, come on.
And the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God and the Most High Power saw that it was good.
All right. So now, the Christian church never teaches this, and they make the Bible boring because people don't understand why they read it. When everybody read Genesis before, that's the first thing you open and read. Typically, some people go to Revelation, but everybody down there read Genesis. What do people think when they read them two verses?
Salakia, that the Most High created trees and seeds and fruits on the earth after he created the earth.
No, but that's what it's saying. Okay, maybe it never happened to you. Anybody else? Anybody else had any weird thoughts about how it's written when you first read it? No sweat. This is what most people in the world say, right? This is what most people in the world say after reading this. Why is it repeating itself? Right? 11 and 12 is the same verse. Right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Didn't we just read the same thing over and over?
Then I want that.
Yeah.
Royal jackass like polite, or some other nutcase. What do you say? See, this Bible, man, it's the same thing over and over. It's confusing. It's not as it's confusing. People don't understand power. In verse 11, he is giving the order. In verse 12, the order is being carried out.
Right.
You understand? Same brother, read 11 again. Read it nice and loud and strong.
So like I say, you going in and out.
I say read verse 11 one more time. Read it nice and loud and strong.
And And the Most High Power said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, those whose seed is itself upon the earth, and it was so.
Right? So the Lord said, let this happen. In other words, yo, Michael, the angel, Yahushai, Michael, take these angels, go and let the earth bring forth seed and bring forth trees. And it was so. Read.
Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind.
It's the same verse. One verse he's saying it, let this happen. The next verse he's saying it, it happened. Meaning he gave the order one verse, and the next verse they completed the order. Any officer in the UPK understands this. When you get an order in the UPK, what's the first thing you do? I know you're young, but you've been doing it, so I'm really letting you know that's how it's supposed to be done to enforce it. An experience for everybody. As an officer in here, right? Maybe a senior officer can answer. I know we have a Zana on, we have a Karam on. What do you do when you get an order from a man above you?
Salakia.
What do you do?
Yeah, so Salakia, you go and
you carry out that order.
Do the works, what they tell you to do the orders, carry out the orders.
There's something you do before you carry it out.
Salakia, may I try?
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Normally, when I get orders from my officer or my captain, I would seek to, for example, if we say wash the car, I would find out where the car is. I would get the stuff to wash the car and then start to wash the car.
Now, something else. Like I say, you might need to be a little bit more senior to understand it.
Can.
Salakia, would you repeat the order just to check for clarity? You know what I mean?
Who's saying this?
Kenneth Merritt. Kenneth.
Say him again now?
I say Kenneth Merritt.
What city you in?
Conroe, Texas, sir.
Okay, Most High in Christ. Go ahead.
All right, would you repeat the order to check out for clarity?
That's it. Give the brother a hand. All right? You're a young man. That's what you do. You repeat the order, right? Natazan Ilaban, you repeat the order. You're right. Karam Yala, you're right. You repeat the order. All right? You repeat the order. All right? You'll kill the cross talking there. Salaki, I'm now seeing the question from the sister Cassandra. The earth is not flat. Just stop listening to people on the internet. All right? It's only true if the I.S.U.P.K says it. That's something you should live by.
Right.
Only true if UPK says it. If GMS, them purple faggots say Christ is black, it's not true. It's only true if it comes from the mouth of an officer in the school. Right. You get the point? Because if you believe everything true from every lying mouth, you will also believe the lies from the lying mouth. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. It's only true if it comes from the Israelite school of UPK under Commandant General Yohanna. Everybody understand? All right, cool. So you repeat the order. So now the Lord is giving them the order there. They repeat the order. Then they carry it out. You understand? That's where that's the spirit of UPK. And then, of course, you come back and say the order is done. I carried it out. You understand? So that's what happened in here. Let's keep going. I know we are all up on the time. I'm going to try to get as far as I can before we have to clip it, all right?
Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
So now the evening and the morning was the third day, meaning that third space of time, the time for evening and the time for morning was the third day. You get the point? It was the third day. So we have the 3 days now. All right, go ahead.
Verse 14. And the Most High Power said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven.
All right. So now we get into the part that what was the brother who asked the question before? Calloway, who said, well, he said it's definitely the sun. And I told him, no, it's not the sun. All right, bear with me one. I'm trying to reconnect you all to the Facebook right now. So lock it. Battery's running low. All right, bear with me 1 second. I hope this works. All right, go ahead.
Continue, sir, or start again?
Start one more time.
Verse 14. And the Most High Power said, let there be light in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night.
Mm-hmm. So he said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven to separate the day from the night. So in the firmament, in here, there's a light in here. You understand? What is that light?
It's like the sun?
Nope.
Yeah.
Is the sun in the firmament?
No. No.
I don't know, sir.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Not in the firmament, but okay, as you're looking up from the earth into the firmament, you're going to see light, right? Read it again from the top up. Read it one more time.
Verse 14. And the Most High Power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night.
Right? Let there be what?
Lights.
Lights. Lights.
Plural.
Plural. That's a hint. What are we talking about?
Okay, sir. Stars.
Stars. Anybody else? Anybody else sees that? Lights in the firmament. You understand?
Okay.
Keep reading.
And let them be for signs and for
Let them be for what? Let them be for what?
For signs.
For what?
For signs.
Go ahead.
And for seasons.
And for what?
And for seasons.
Go ahead.
And for days.
And for what?
And for days.
Go ahead.
And for years.
And for years. You understand? These lights he puts in there, there's the stars. All right? They're going to be for a sign and a season. Right? There's signs. Right? Like when people traveling on the sea, they follow what? What do people who travel on the sea follow?
The stars.
There's a particular star.
So like I say, if I made the North Star?
They follow the North Star. Because that North, and when I say they follow it, meaning they don't sail towards it, but they follow it, meaning they track where that star is. So it gives them their bearing. You understand? The star's going to be for a sign. You get the point?
Right.
What do them wise men follow? Who came to see Yahushua on his birth night?
They follow the star.
They follow the star. They follow constellation. Right? They follow a particular constellation, and they was able to find where the hell they was going. You understand?
Yeah.
It's used for different things. Let's keep going.
Verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so.
And it was so. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the Most High Power made two great lights
And he made two great lights. Go ahead.
The greater to rule the day, rule the night. He made the stars also.
Right? You understand?
So
now, so for the brother who was the brother earlier, I forgot his name. Something Calloway. Cadillac Calloway. In Genesis chapter 1 and 1, them first couple verses, when he said, let there be light, it's not talking about the sun. He's making the sun here on the third day. Right? Read that last verse again, verse 16. And Salaki, in verse 14, when he said lights, let me find out exactly for sure. I don't think it's just the stars. As I'm reading this now, it's coming back to me. It's the sun, the moon, and the stars. That's why he said lights. It's plural. And now there's a greater light to rule the day, a lesser light to rule the night. And of course, you have the stars. Right? That's why he said he made the stars also. Read verse 16 one more time.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. And the Most High Power made two great lights.
Go ahead. So like you're going in and out a little bit. You're going in and out a little bit. Read it one more time.
Verse 16. And the Most High Power made two great lights, the greater to rule by day and the lesser to rule the night.
Right? He made two great lights. No, of course, I'm not, this is not, location wise. You get me? This ain't, this ain't the location of everything, but I'm using this to show you what's what. So you have the sun. You get the point? You have the day, and let's draw the moon somewhere down here. All right? I hope you all see it. All right? Now you have the moon down here with the craters in it, and you get the point? That rules the night. They're looking like a face, but look like a white man face. Yeah. All right? That rules the night. You get the point? I know the Facebook feed seems to be struggling. The internet probably lagging a little bit for some reason. But hopefully y'all could get it. I think we back up on the internet now strong. Right? Who the fuck is this devil, man? Salaki, excuse my language. A devil? Yeah, I don't understand him, man. You're the devil. You ain't supposed to be in class. Somebody just reports him from. I can't get to report him because the live stream is on my channel. His name is Roger Carroll. Just report his ass, man. You're always complaining about reporting on Facebook. Somebody report the damn bastard, man, quickly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just not anybody who reading. Somebody else who in there. Some of the sisters, the brothers. Just report the damn devil, man, quick, and get him out the goddamn room. I'm trying to remove him, but shit. Yeah, I mean, this is a devil-free zone, devil. All right, somebody just click report him, report abuse, whatever you want to. Just get him out. Get him out of there, all right? Kick him out like Trump. Get him out. All right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Verse 17. And the Most High Power set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth. Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And the Most High Power saw that it was good.
You understand? So he looked at the work that they did, and he came back and he now justified to say that this was good work. This is what, 4 days? This is 4 days of good work. Keep going.
Verse 19. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
So now we have the evening time passed, and then now the morning time passed, and that was day 4. So in 4 days, we have the firmament, we have the earth, we have the seas. Now, once again, this is the proof that the earth is not the world. Because the earth in the Bible is not even talking about the planet. You understand? Because he said he called land earth, and everything that wasn't land, the seas. So the seas is not the earth. You get the point? It's not the planet. Earth is different. The white man doesn't mix everything up, confusing the hell out of everybody. You understand? So we have the earth, we have the seas, the firmament. Then you have the stars. You have the sun to rule the day, the greater light that rules the day. and you have the lesser light, the moon, to rule the night. And he looked at it and he saw that it was good. The evening and the morning was the fourth day. The evening period and the morning period, because of course, a day for us, the Lord's day starts at sundown, right? The period of time that he starts for us, it begins when the greater light goes away. So it begins with the lesser light. When that lesser light comes on, that's a new day, right? Before he created this, he's the Lord. He understands time. The evening and the morning was the first day, second day, third day, fourth day. Now that he created them for our benefit, the evening and the morning is the first day. So the evening is the beginning of the fourth day. Like right now, tonight would be called Monday, right? If we were in rulership, Monday started a few hours ago when the sun went down on Sunday, right? When the sun goes down is the end of something. Like how people say, you ever see funerals? When you read the obituary, what do they say? Rise 1970 something, sunset 2000 something. It's in our spirit traditionally where sunset means it's over, right? It's over. And you see through the funerals when they say the sun set on him, meaning he died then. So the sun dies, the sun sets at a certain time. That's the end of the day. The new day begins at nighttime, right? At the evening time. Once that lesser light comes into play, now would be Monday. Then Monday would continue all the way till the sun sets tomorrow at sunset. Then Tuesday would start then. That's how it really would be. That's why Sabbath is at what? Sundown on the sixth day, Friday. Because the Sabbath begins sundown Friday. That's Saturday. You understand? That's when Saturday really starts. Friday night. You get the point? So that's it. So now, we're going to stop here because from verse 20 onwards is about life. When he created animals, mankind. We're going to get that next week for the sake of time. I don't want to go too long. I know Trinidad is an hour ahead. They're at 9:30 right now. We just at 8:24. You're at 9:24. So next week, we're going to pick it up for part 2 of the Genesis breakdown. And of course, we're going to go straight into chapter 2 with Adam and Eve. And who was the first man? Who was the first man? All that mess going to be cleared up. I hope Cadillac Calloway still come online and find out the truth. Don't believe the Christians because you're realizing everything you've learned so far is not how it really went. You get the point? It's not how it really went. So next week, we're going to pick it up again from verse 20. Also, those of you all who are on YouTube, there's to the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little eye. You all would see a link for Commanding General Yohanna's radio show, the channel to catch the show live. You all could click it right in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You'll see a little eye. A little eye. Click that. You're going to see it drop down. Subscribe to that channel now so you all could catch the radio show live tomorrow night, the podcast live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For in Trinidad, the Caribbean Islands, it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. I know you're 1 hour behind. Or not 1 hour behind. You're on the right time. You know, the white man done changed the rules. He tell you what time it is, literally. Right. All right. And now after that, you all could go to the website and catch a repeat of the show from Tuesday. The show will be broadcast live as usual on Monday. But if you want to rewatch the show, just go to the website. Brand new spanking hot website. Thanks to General Shawama rocking on that website with a few of the brothers. Go to the website ISUPK.com. ISUPK.com, and you would see a drop-down menu for the grill. Just click the grill, and it will take you to the page. You'll see the whole archives of all the radio shows moving forward, all right? So once again, click the little eye, subscribe. Those of you all who are in the Facebook on the live stream, I'm going to post the link right now for the channel. And if you can, just go to the channel and hit subscribe. If you're on your devices right now, your phones, your computers, whatever, if you're signed in. If you're not subscribed, just go there and subscribe now. All right, just go there and subscribe now. Just post the link a couple times. You'll go there, make sure and subscribe to that channel right now. Catch the radio show tomorrow night at 9, all right? So with that, we're going to clip the class right there. Y'all, if you all need to take your notes, whatever, we're going to pick it up next week, all right? Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Katham. Yahweh Shem Alathon Bahasham Yahweh
Shalom, Yahweh Shem.